Just between us, I am chatting to Sara Outen, and I have to put some perspective on this. London to London via the world, 25,000 miles, 4.5 years. She rode, she cycled, she kayaked all around the Northern Hemisphere. And some people think I'm crazy. Well, let me introduce you to Sara. Hey, Sara, you're back.
Happy days, Heidi. I am back indeed.
Tell me, 4.5 years. Now, I know you came back at different stages, but like that's a huge chunk of your life that you've just been missing.
It's like a really long degree, isn't it? Like a degree and a master's program all at once or something. It's an interesting thing to say that's a huge part of your life that you've missed or sort of been involved with, because I sort of think actually that's given me some of the richest years of my life. But you're right in that I've missed out on lots of big family events and hanging out with family and friends and the birth of little people and things like that. So I guess there's an element of that, but in the context of, I don't know, the experiences that I've had and the things that I've seen and the people that I've met on the way, then I don't feel like I've missed out at all.
Yeah, no, actually, when you said it was like a degree and a master's in one, actually, that reality is missing out is everybody else that you left behind because you've just been enriched. And I remember following your cycle at first, where you ended up with a little guy with you. He cycled with you for quite a few miles, didn't he?
I did. So in China, I met a young guy in a petrol station. He was called Gao, a Chinese guy, 22 years old. At the time, he told me that he'd just graduated from university, and he was asking me about my bike and the journey and sort of saying how cool it was that I was out there doing this big trip. And he said that he wanted to make a trip as well. But he said he didn't know how and he was worried and all these things. And I just kind of said, buddy, it's just riding a bike. Why don't you just get a bike and go? You know, that is the most important bit, is just going. And so he sort of said that he would, and we went off in different directions. And then half an hour down the road, as I'm cycling along eating my breakfast, a car pulled up, horn beeping wildly, and out jumps Gao running across the road with an atlas in his hand saying, Sarah, Sarah, stop, I want to come with you to Beijing. And I was a little bit taken aback, to say the least, because that doesn't normally happen. Um, and so after, I don't know, about 10 minutes of chatting with him, I decided that, okay, this would be a really cool thing. Because at first, I was really worried. I thought, what if he dies in the Gobi Desert and I'm responsible? Um, and yet he was full of ideas about how he'd make a great team. Him being the translator, I'd be the leader. I tried telling him that the Gobi Desert would be really hot for cycling, and he said, "Oh, don't worry about that. We'll cycle at night when it's cooler," and all these things. And I just thought, well, actually, this would be a really cool way